Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
That I'm kind of curious about because it's titled The Modern Audience Reclaims Feminist Icon Marin Kitagawa, and the cope is genuinely hilarious. Now, I love My Dress Up Darling. I think Marin is an amazing character. I absolutely love her. Marin is like the pinnacle of being like the popular, gorgeous, girly girl, but also like being an absolute sweetheart and doing anything for her friends and those that she cares about. And she's also like insecure. She's also insecure about herself. Yeah, she's not a bitch in any way. She's like incredibly wholesome, but she's also relatable because she's self-conscious, and I freaking love her as a character. She is amazing, and the story itself is amazing. So I'm kind of curious what this is all about. So let's take a look at this. And Dragon of Metal, thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. So let's see what the hell's going on here.
So I've seen a lot of discourse over the past couple of years about My Dress Up Darling, and in particular, the character Marin Kitagawa. And when I saw this tweet, I knew we were in for an absolute disaster. This tweet saying, "We cannot be serious, bro. It's legit like clockwork," referring to the fact that problematic characters are often reclaimed as feminist icons or girl bosses or whatever, years after being demonized and portrayed as something awful by those same users. And I think this...
Marin is the exact opposite of feminism. She is precisely the exact opposite. How can these freak shows even view, I know why they're thinking of her as a feminist icon is they're trying to basically take away from people that love anime. They're trying to take anime icons and turn it against people that like anime so they can beat them over the head with it. Oh, she's a feminist icon, so you have to accept that she's a feminist and that she represents all feminists. And the problem is that anime fans are going to basically go, no, they're not. No, she's not. Marin is the furthest thing from being a feminist, so you can kindly just fuck off, because she is the furthest thing from being a feminist. Yeah, she is feminine, and yeah, she is femininity incarnate, but she is not a feminist by any fucking metric. Why? Because she's not a door-riding cunt. So she is the furthest thing possible from being a feminist. She's beautiful. She's sweet. She's kind. She's caring. She can be self-conscious. She'll do anything for her friends. She is literally the precise opposite of a feminist. And I will fight fucking anyone who tries to say otherwise.
Thumbnail right here really sums it up, right? My Dress Up Darling, a feminist masterpiece. And this is a real video, and we'll watch some short clips from it. It's a disaster. But, of course, the replies are pointing out some very obvious statements here. Video essayists are people too. Weren't they calling Marin pedo bait? These poser clowns, I swear.
Yeah. For a long time they were. Because Marin is, what, she's 15, I think, in the manga and in the anime? I'm pretty sure she's 15 years old. Maybe she's 16. I don't recall exactly. But she's like, they're high school students. So 15, so like they're 15 or 16. So yeah, they were just like, oh, she's pedo bait. Everybody's like saying Marin is best girl. They, in the manga and the anime, she did wear some very skimpy and very revealing clothing, and people, all the screeching retards were like, oh, she's pedo bait. She's pedo bait. And now all of a sudden, oh, she's a feminist icon. Uh-huh. This is what they do. They try and steal things that you love to try and pervert them and call them their own and go, now you have to listen to us. Problem. We don't play that game. Not one of us play that game. And especially you fuck with Marin. By the way, you fuck with Marin? Guess who else you fuck with? Leave us not forget who is directly tied to Marin. Amelie. The VTuber monarch, Amelie, she is the voice actor for Marin in the English dub of My Dress Up Darling. The Scuff Queen is the voice actor for Marin. So and I have to wonder, how does Amma feel about Marin being a quote-unquote feminist icon? Because whether she likes it or not, she's going to kind of get lumped in with this ideology. Since she voices, people are going to intrinsically tie her to the character being the feminist icon. So I don't know. Was Amelie a former Evanescence? No, you're thinking of Anna Lee. A-N-A Lee? I'm sorry, not Anna, Amy Lee. Amy Lee was the lead singer of Evanescence. Amelie is the voice actor for Bye.
I don't remember feminist being pro getting married and having kids. I must have missed that part. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Classic feminist trope right here. Getting married, having kids.
Yep.
The cope is absolutely insane. This is a sort of breakdown that we see with many characters. Bayonetta is a great example.
This is a gross objectification. It's for incels. Actually, it's fun. Let's enjoy it too, incel. Actually, this is for the girlies. Yeah, the cope and sieve. They start off with attack. Then they conflate. Then they try and twist and go, well, actually, it's not bad. Then they're like, well, we want this too. And then, well, actually, this was for us all along, and so now we're claiming this. Why are people so dumb? To give you a famous quote. Hi, Kitsune. Hi, Mizuki. How you doing? Hello. To basically do a famous quote here, you ask how people are so dumb. A person is smart. People are dumb, dangerous, stupid animals. That's paraphrasing. I didn't get it exactly right, but that's paraphrasing. People are dumb, stupid, panicky animals, and you know it.
Example where it begins, this is gross objectification. It's for incels. Actually, it's fun. Let us enjoy it too, incel. Actually, this is for the girlies. And then, this always belonged to us. You are the invaders.
Exactly.
And that is where we are.
And this is why we need to gatekeep everything now. This is exactly why I say we need to gatekeep everything. Because we are seeing invaders into literally every space right now. It started with the LGBT. It's moved on to anime. It's moved into video games. We need to gatekeep the shit out of literally everything. Yeah, don't let the orcs into the Shire. For some shires, it's already too late. The orcs have already invaded the Shire and burned it to the ground. The LGBT group, for example, LGBT people, autism. Yeah, they've already invaded the Shire and they've been burnt, and they've burned it down and salted the earth. Doctor Who. Yeah, there are so many. So gatekeep. Gatekeep the shit out of your fandoms. Ignore people well, that you can't keep people out of fandoms. Yeah, you can. You can and you should. You absolutely can and should keep people out of the fandoms that want to basically but aren't you inclusive to everybody? No, we're not. We're not going to allow people to come in and say, well, I want this to fit me in this way, so I want to change everything and then pervert it and destroy it and then try and promote it as this icon for freak shows. And now basically that's now become a symbol of it. Like, again, I quote LGBT because that is the most prevalent thing right now. LGBT, they've opened the doors, let everyone in. If you feel different, sure, you can be part of LGBT. And now look what happened. Now LGBT no longer represents gay and trans people. It represents criminals. It represents terrorists. It represents psychopaths. It represents autogonophiliacs. It represents literally everyone except gay and trans people, and is used as a means of subjugation, domination, and terrorism. The rainbow flag, which was once a symbol of unity for gay and trans people, now literally is a representation of hate, domination, and terrorism. Gatekeep your fandoms. Gatekeep your organizations. Do not let in people that will try and twist it and pervert it to their own sick delusions and then co-opt it and destroy it in the eyes of the public.
Right now, we're basically right before the final stage. Now Marin Kitagawa is a feminist icon, but flashback to a few years ago, we had posts like this saying, if you need to treat women like sex objects to get good views, then maybe you're just a bad writer. Now, this user is not only whining about My Dress Up Darling, but doing so not even knowing the author is a woman. So it is a complete self-own.
And again, this is why you gatekeep, because they're going to come in. They did the same thing with Stellar Blade. They've done the same thing with, what was the other, like, Stellar Blade, they insulted Eve from Stellar Blade by saying, oh, no woman actually looks like that. How could you make this lead character look like a complete exaggeration of the female form when they did a literal body scan of a woman, so Eve's proportions are 1-to-1 for the motion capture actress? And like so many manga that are like, oh, this is scandalous. You're treating women terribly, and the writer is a woman. But they don't care. That's the thing. Yeah, Bayonetta's the designer of Bayonetta is a woman. Like a lot of the stuff that they criticize literally are designed by women. Like the female characters are literally designed by women, but they don't care. That's the point, is they don't care. They just care about their ideology. Wasn't 50 Shades women Yes, 50 Shades was created by a woman, E.L. James, who is an absolutely dog shit writer and basically doesn't know how BDSM works and is successful in alienating the very audience that she was trying to port. Yeah, but it's the SJRs don't care, because this is what they do. They break. Rev showed the breakdown, but it's like what they do is they grievously insult your fandom and say that you're treating women like sex objects. You shouldn't like this. If you like this, you are a horrible person, and we're going to tell everybody that you're a horrible person to try and drive people away from said fandom. Then they can swoop in and say, oh, actually, it's not that bad, but this is ours now, and now we're going to use this fandom that you once loved, and we're now going to use it to promote evil, and fuck you, too bad. Now your favorite fandom is evil, which we have seen in countless times in Hollywood, like with Doctor Who being the prime example. How basically the SJRs came in and said, you're horrible for liking Doctor Who. Oh, okay, you went away, cool. Doctor Who is ours now, and now Doctor Who has become a symbol of evil and everything that you hate. Go fuck yourself, nerds. Like, that's how they operate. So what do? You gatekeep. You gatekeep the fuck out of your fandom, and anybody that tries to come from your fandom, you fight. You fight like hell, and you say, this is ours. You don't get it. Fuck off.
And let's just remember the other controversies, like the fact that My Dress Up Darling, when the anime came out, was accused of racism and blackface because Marin had a tan in one of the episodes. The drama was insane. And it's very interesting to see how this is being rewritten.
Yeah, because of course she got a tan, so immediately the racists instantly go to racism to obfuscate their own racism. This basically the racists that hate white people immediately jump to, oh, you're being racist because they hate white people and they want to claim a white property for themselves. Again, gatekeep.
Narrative all these years later. And here's the video in question. And for some context, they're trying to frame their analysis around the idea of the male gaze. That is a very, very ridiculous phrase. I've never heard it not uttered by terminally online people, but that is the framework for their entire analysis here. Let's give it a quick listen.
People throw around the term male gaze, but how many of you have actually read what it comes from? I have.
Don't need to.
Laura Mulvey's 1975 article, Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema, is the origin of male gaze, and it outlines exactly what Mulvey thinks qualifies. Are critics right that Marin Kitagawa is the victim of male gaze and flagrant objectification? Or does the show's fan service avoid those pitfalls? The only way to...
Translation, if a guy looks at a girl and is attracted to her, that equals male gaze. Basically, the whole concept of accusing people of the male gaze is literally just another form of trying to exercise birth control and lower the birth rates. Don't look at a woman that you find attractive, because if you do, you might want to actually like date her and marry her and have sex with her and have children with her. God, don't do that. You have to, especially if they're attractive. So it's a combination of trying to affect the birth rate and basically trying to say, oh, don't look at the pretty girls, look at the ugly girls. Because I guarantee you, I will guarantee you that if the man looked at a quote unquote ugly girl like that, they would not say a fucking thing. If they did the male gaze at an ugly woman, they wouldn't call it the male gaze. They just say, see, he's appreciating her inner beauty or some other bullshit. But if a guy looks at an attractive woman in that way, then it's the male gaze. You should be ashamed of yourself. So it's basically trying to guilt guys into going for the uggos instead of the attractive girls. And I guarantee you, the woman that first pioneered this whole male gaze thing, and every woman since that has continued to perpetuate the shaming of the male gaze, Darren fucking to you, every single one of them are ugly. Every single woman that reads about the male gaze is ugly as sin, and would need a bag over their head in order to get a guy to sleep with them, and probably would need a pork chop dangled around their neck to get the dog to play with them. Darren fucking to you. Because pretty girls want the male gaze. Women that are attractive, and about the male gaze, like women that are that revel in being women, love being viewed by men as attractive, whether or not they are. Like any woman appreciates being viewed as attractive. So typically speaking, the ones that are viewed as attractive are actually attractive women. And the ugly ones, because they never get a guy looking at them like they are attractive, are jealous. It's pure jealousy, because no one is more jealous of a woman than another woman. No one hates women more than other women, particularly the ugly ones. That's just how it is. So I guarantee you that the author of this thing about the male gaze, and every woman that has perpetuated the stigma of the male gaze ever since, is an uggo who has never had a guy look at her and with want and desire. Guaranteed. And they're jealous about the girls that are. And they take out that jealousy on everybody else.
Find out is to actually go through Mulvey's paper and see what applies and what doesn't. People have spoken a lot.
So I'm going to give you a bit of a TLDR. They use this framework to say in some cases it appeals to the male gaze, but not in every case. But overall, we're not really sure, and as we'll see later, the creator of this video just...
Yeah, you're right. How guys never complain about attractive male characters that you look cool, and also view attractive male characters as an inspiration for themselves. Because that's how guys work. Guys see an attractive man, they don't get jealous and try to sabotage him or anything. They look at an attractive male and they view him as a role model, as an icon, as someone to inspire to be. It encourages them to engage in physical fitness. It encourages them to eat right. It encourages them to clean up their lives, to become like that man. It's because that's how guys operate. Yeah, they typically don't try and sabotage each other the way women do. And I talked about this before. I've talked about this in the past. Like, this is like a biological imperative. The whole thing about women trying to sabotage other women is a biological thing. It's, women will sabotage other women to try and get the attractive guy because, biologically speaking, women are predisposed to, wanting to get with the attractive guy so they can get together and she can have attractive. So they're two, good genes. They have two good sets of genes, or at least one good set of genes that they can produce attractive babies. So it's kind of like a biological drive why they'll try and like sabotage other women in order to get the hot guy.
Just dismisses everything and says, well, Marin Kitagawa is a problematic character, therefore this whole analysis was a waste of time, and truly a modern audience moment right there. But
God,
imagine
yes.
my shock when the ecchi anime has fan service. Oh, whoa!
Oh,
I cannot
no!
believe this is happening. Fan service in my ecchi anime? I can't believe this. And there were fans, quote-unquote fans, of the anime when it came out.
No, you're right. You're right. Gojo doesn't think of Marin in a sexual way. He thinks of her in a friendship manner and in a romantic way, not sexually. Like, he gets incredibly embarrassed anytime Marin does anything even a little bit sexual or fan servicey. Like, when, like, there was what I remember from the first. I haven't seen the second season, by the way, but like with the first season, when she was when they were at the clothing store, and she basically was teasing him by showing him the garter belt that she was wearing, and when with the stock, with her stockings, and any time she dressed really sexy, he would go bright red, become a stuttering mess. And it's like, because he thinks of her, in an incredibly respectful way, in a way that she's a friend at all. He does also think of her in a romantic way, but he doesn't think of her sexually. He holds her up on a pedestal. He basically considers her a thing of beauty to be cherished, not to be debased.
Who were saying that this was their comfort show, but they thought the sexualization of Marin Kitagawa was problematic. Like, how do you have those things together? It's like getting a cheeseburger and saying the burger is problematic, but they love the whole thing. It makes absolutely no sense, but...
Well, it's wanting their cake and eating it too. It's because they loved it, but it's problematic, so... So you have to walk away from it. That way we can hold on to it and use it for our own nefarious purposes. It's double speak for the purposes of dissection, to co-opt. That's all it is.
Here is some of the related quotes that are used as the framework of this analysis relating to the male gaze. And here is...
Is this actually Laura Mulvey who wrote this book? What? Okay, hang on. Chat. If I'm correct, this is the author of the book. Tell me I was wrong. Tell me I was wrong in my analysis of the author of this book regarding the male gaze. Was I wrong? No. How about that? I was exactly correct. How about that?
The author of that quotes, and it all adds up. But we've had this discussion before.
Wait, let's hang on. In a world ordered by sexual imbalance, pleasure and looking has been split between active male and passive female in their traditional exhibitionist role. Women are simultaneously looked at and displayed for their appearance coded for strong visual something erotic impacts that can be said to connote to be looked at. What the fuck is this What the fuck is this? I'm thinking I'm smart gobbledygook. This is literally just a bunch of like written verbal diarrhea. This means nothing. Yeah, this is activist bullshit. It means precisely nothing, and it's giving the appearance that she is smart and know what she's talking about when this is all just straight bullshit. It's all straight bullshit to go, men, you should be ashamed for looking at pretty girls. That's it. That's all this is.
Quotes, and it all adds up. But we've had this discussion before about the male gaze in anime, even with specific reference to My Dress Up Darling, and as you can see by the like to dislike ratio, that did not go over very well. And when applying it to My Dress Up Darling, at the end of the day, if you don't like the fan service or you're crying about the male gaze, this simply was not the anime for you. But as I pointed out earlier, okay, the entire analysis of this video claims in some aspects it.
But by the way, can I just point out, when they turned Marin into a quote-unquote feminist icon, can't help but notice they uglified her. Anybody notice that? They uglified Marin to be the feminist icon. They made her arms and fingers like sausages, and they made her face wider. They chunkified her to make her the feminist icon. Yeah, not Betty the Riveter, Rosie the Riveter. The original quote unquote feminist icon, Rosie the Riveter. Yeah, she was pretty. She was pretty. She was fit as hell because she was a worker. But look what they did to Marin. They uglified her. They fattened her up to make her appealing to the target demographic. Let me just say that. So yeah, they're trying to co-opt Marin, uglify her, and take her away from the fans. And fandom? Gatekeep. Gatekeep and go, nope, she ain't feminist. She is still best girl, and if you don't like it, fuckity bye.
Follows the male gaze, but doesn't really, because at the end of the day, they're partners in their hobby, right? They're working together to do this stuff. It's not all on Marin. It's not all on him. They are a happy couple experiencing a hobby together. And again, this atrocious thumbnail is literally burning my eyes. But that is kind of the framework. I'm saving you roughly 16 minutes of commentary where it's just playing fan service on the loop. Oh, thank you, Rev. I'd probably get bumped.
Why did Marin is not a feminist? Why do they always do this? They do this because they want to take away the things that you love. This is what they've been doing this is what these people have been doing for decades. They take away the thing that you love and turn it into a weapon against you as a means of subjugation and domination. To say, you are a horrible person. Don't you want to be on the right side of history? You have to do what we tell you to do. So it's basically a religion at this point. You don't want to sin in the name of God, of our God, right? You need to do what we tell you to do, so you will know righteousness in the eyes of our God. That's like the SJR, the woke stuff. It is literally become it is transmortified into a religion at this point. And if you don't honor the flag, honor the symbol of our religion, then you have sinned in the eyes of our fake God, and therefore you will be punished in the name of our fake God. That is basically what it boils down to.
By YouTube for playing this whole video anyways. But of course, there's one arc I want to point out here. It's this one right here. The Juju Paradox, where we have this character that he almost breaks down in tears talking about because he believes they completely ruined her. They completely demoralized her as a character because she was presented with fan service but they didn't do anything too intellectual with it. They didn't have some overarching theme like they do with the other characters. She was just there for fan service, and that was such a bummer to the video's creator.
Yeah, she's not the main character.
He basically says they treated her like garbage. I mean, like treating her like she's real or something. But this is the ultimate payoff. After listening through 16 minutes, we get to the conclusion. And it's just a modern audience moment right here.
So after all that, is My Dress-Up Darling a feminist masterpiece that sets out to challenge our understanding of the male and female gaze? No, probably not. Maybe it's just uneven and non-committal. When you think about it, this video is pretty dang contradictory too. There's actual feminist theory at the center, sure, but I've played into the gaze in the way I've edited it. So whatever I'm arguing has just as many holes and contradictions as the source material.
By the way, completely off topic, I will say I've seen clips of season 2. I haven't seen actual season 2 yet. I really should. I've seen clips of season 2, and I will say I think the art style of season 2 is a downgrade compared to season 1. See, I don't think season 2's art style is anywhere near as good as season 1's. Like season 1's art was prime, and then from the clips I've seen of season 2, it doesn't look as good by any stretch. Anyway, that's just an aside I wanted to mention.
So basically, this was all for nothing. Yeah, all that analysis, and keep in mind, he went through his little framework here with the male gaze and said it appeals to it most of the time. But now it's like, it doesn't matter. Well, I want 16 minutes of my life back, but this is the real kicker.
Does that negate the video? Or does that make it a pretty good representation of my...
Yeah, like, look at Marin here. She does, the art style is nowhere near as good. It's not. This unfortunately is a downgrade in the art style. Probably doesn't take away from the story at all, but I don't like it.
My Dress-Up Darling, warts and all. Sometimes things don't neatly fit categories or check every single point on a list, but you shouldn't write them off entirely because of it. This series is a celebration of people like Marin who enjoy things that may be a bit, messy. Even though it's not a feminist masterpiece, there's still something valuable to take away from works like My Dress-Up Darling, or Slippery Girls too. I did forget to mention one thing that's kinda important. Marin is a high schooler. For the record, there's nothing feminist about that at all. I just didn't want to lead with it because it kinda destroys the entire discussion. But hopefully this was informative anyway.
And there you have it, folks. At the end of the day, she is problematic. Therefore, none of this mattered. Yeah, also messy. Her hobby is messy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, her hobby of cosplay. You know, something that is enjoyed by thousands upon thousands of thousands and thousands of people all over the world. Like, in the end, Dress Up Darling is a coming of age, like, slice of life anime, where Gojo is, he wants to make what are they called? Oh God, I forget the type of dolls that they are. Like the word escapes me. Oh God, what is that? What is the type of dolls that he aspires to make? Hina dolls. Thank you. I could not remember the word. Yeah. So like it's a slice of life with Gojo, who likes to make Hina doll, who aspires to be like his grandfather, to make Hina dolls. Marin, who is just a bubbly, bright personality and loves to cosplay, and they happen to come together. And because of Gojo's skills, the two of them form a bond and a friendship together that grows into something more. And it's literally a slice of life coming of age. That's it. Is there a little bit of ecchi fan service in there? Sure. But guess what? Name for me any number of coming of age shows and movies that doesn't have a little bit of that. Name me one where it's like a high school show or a high school movie that it's coming of age, even if it's sweet and everything, that doesn't have some etchiness or fan service into it. You can't. Or if there is, there's like an outlier here and there. So the fact that she's in high school and that there is some fan service in there is honestly immaterial, because it's not fan service for the point of, oh, it's a hentai. It's like it's not done in the matter that's a hentai. It's done in the matter of, this is coming of age. This is like two high school age students that are basically discovering themselves as they're growing up. What every high school student goes through. Every high school student goes through this. It's not like, oh, we're deliberately trying to make her sexy so guys will jerk off to her or something. No, it's them discovering themselves, discovering their feelings, discovering themselves, and you see it throughout fucking history in every high school story. But of course, the ones that need their computers checked are the ones that are gonna go, oh, that's pedo bait. The ones that scream that an anime or a manga like My Dress Up Darling is pedo bait are projecting and need to have their own computers checked.
But yeah, that's the end of the video. You didn't even have to watch the near 17 minutes up to that part. He just goes, wait a second. This character is problematic. Oops. Forget everything. I've never had a rug pull like this. This is like a crypto rug pull right here. Okay, I sat down and watched this whole video. I will never get these 17 minutes of my life back. For nothing. Just for the modern audience and this modern audience mouthpiece to tell me, it's problematic. None of this matters. And the comment section is very funny. All the top comments roasting it, saying, as I suspected, Cole. I curse the coronavirus for letting this video happen. Yes, unfortunately, COVID weebs are a epidemic that came out of that.
Yep.
The level of cope is insane. Just because feminists can't make anything good doesn't mean you can claim stuff that's good.
Bingo.
Not by feminists. Here's another one saying, anime with fan service made to cater to otaku is being claimed by people who hate fan service and otaku culture for the billionth time. I'm so effing tired of North American anime fans. And that ultimately is the takeaway from this. Total Cole alert, ladies and gentlemen. This was a real masterpiece. It wasn't a feminist masterpiece, but it was a masterpiece for our entertainment. So, yeah, too long didn't read version of events here. Marin Kitagawa, problematic. Feminist sort of analysis, irrelevant because she is problematic.
Yeah, and she's not. One last time for the cheap seats. Gatekeep, people. Gatekeep your hobbies. Gatekeep your organizations. Because if you don't, they will get taken over. They will get co-opted. And they will become monstrous, unrecognizable versions of themselves.
Ember burns bright, brighter than